Well, hey, Facebook and beyond. This is TUNAP, and I have with me the most incredible Dr. Michael Gross.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We got exciting things to share with you this evening, but I'll let TU talk about it.
Yeah, Michael has a plethora of wisdom. Our topic tonight is my role in life. And when he told me that, I thought, wow, you could take that in totally different perspectives and run with this. So I'm thrilled to pieces that Michael's here. He's giving us a fantastic opportunity to get to know him better. Leave your comments in the comments below on Facebook. You can also find him live streaming right now on YouTube. So if YouTube is your jam, then go there because we're going live and we're thrilled with the message. We appreciate your time. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to Dr. Michael Gross, and then I'm going to let him have the floor, you could say. Okay?
All right.
The floor, the screen, whatever you call it. Okay, Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and there goes my mouth, huh? An entrepreneur. We had snow today. I've got a little foggy brain going on. My apologies. Okay, I'm going to start again. Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he's been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. He currently teaches classes in spirituality, self empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the true source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. I think I love this part the most, Michael. He remains humble, knowing that the work that he does all comes from God, the true source. I'm thrilled to pieces to be introducing this phenomenal man as my spiritual mentor. How he's changed my life is phenomenal. I'm so glad you're here with me tonight, Michael. Um, I just have to put that in. You have done so much in the 3 years I've known you, and I admire everything that you have to offer the rest of the community and the people around the world. So, on that note, let's get back to the scripted part because I went off the script. But Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and he has launched his nonprofit. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about your nonprofit
The
and
International
then go on to
Institute.
the topic, okay?
Okay. It's the International Institute of Self Empowerment, as we call it TISI. Has 12 arms, and our first goal is to assist abused women, children, and men. And because of the history, and I've learned so much in coaching, TU Knapp, I've asked her to be director of that division of working with abused women, children, and men. Much more information will be following, but those who are seeing us, we're a 501c3, we're a nonprofit. So you're looking for tax deductions or you're looking for whatever to help abused women, children, and men, we're here for you. And we're building up a war chest, so to speak. And the war is to stop abuse with children, abused children, and abused women and abused men. So, anything that you can add to this, any thoughts you have, any place you'd like to see us seek some grants, or you'd like to make a donation, it would be really appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael, for putting that together. And I'm honored to be part of your nonprofit and helping other women, children, and men who have had to deal with abuse and violence. You know, that's such a powerful topic. So let's get on with the topic at hand tonight, though. How's that sound?
Sounds good. And it's all about your role in life, or as we call it, my role in life. So many people come to me and ask me, well, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to accomplish? And I kind of chuckle to myself because they're already doing part of it. What are they doing? Well, they're either a parent or a sibling or whatever they may be, and they're helping others out. So let's break it down into a little bit more easily understood. When you look at your role in life, it's to discover who you are, what your life is about. to discover how you heal yourself. When I say heal yourself, we all came in to learn about self-worth, self-love, and self-esteem. But how do we learn how to heal ourselves? Well, there are many ways. Sometimes we experience the ups and downs of life and we learn what works and doesn't work. Sometimes we observe others. Sometimes we go to counseling. Sometimes we may see a movie or read a book or whatever it is. Whatever method works for you, it works for you. And that's so important because your role in life is to become self-empowered. Self-empowered doesn't mean to be judgmental, critical, to be bossy, or to be, I don't know, judgmental or create chaos in other people's lives. It's more or less to look at your life to see what you are facing. What are your challenges? What are your ups and downs? What are you fearful of? Why are you so angry? Why are you so sensitive? Why are you so hateful? Why do you have to be always in control? Why do you have to manipulate? Well, that's a plethora of information, isn't it? But when you think about all those things, we wear many hats. And it's a figure of speech, as you know, as a parent, as a child, as a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, whatever you may be. But it's so important. And it's so important that we realize what is our role in life? What direction are we leading our family in? What direction are we walking in? You know, each one of you is setting up a role model for others, whether it's trillions of people or one person. It makes no difference because it's just important for one or a huge number. But more importantly is when you're looking at your role in life, is how are you healing and making yourself joyous and happy? So I want to address part of the healing for a minute. So if you have a bias or a prejudice or an anger or frustration, that needs to be healed. And that's so important. And I hear this cliche, I can forgive, but I can't forget. The minute I hear that, I go, and you really haven't healed. Because if you can forgive, it's not done genuinely. If you can't forget, who you're really punishing? You're punishing John or James or Sarah or whomever or Paul? No, you're punishing yourself because you're hanging on to this emotion that you can forgive, but you can't forget because you are wounded. Nobody can wound you unless you allow yourself to be wounded. Nobody can hurt you unless you have yourself be hurt. So when we look at our life, we are constantly being judged. And, you know, do you make enough money? Did you say the right thing? Even today, with certain crowds, you got to be careful what you say because it could be offensive, and on and on and on and on and on and on. And we look at all that. But the most difficult thing for each one of us is not so much to speak our truth, which is very important, but to live our truth and examine our truth. First, you have to examine your truth. What is the basis of your truth? What is it? Is it anger, frustration, hurt, pain, judgmentalness, insecurities, lack of self worth, self love, and self esteem, not measuring up to someone else? Look at that. Look at all those things that are going on in your life. So the only person you can really please is you. You can only please yourself 100% of the time. Everybody else, maybe 50 or 80% of the time, maybe a little less, a little more. But when you please somebody else, what are you giving up in yourself? What are you sacrificing? What are you not looking at? Now, it doesn't mean to be critical of someone else. You know, I sit in many groups of people, or I observe, and I know they're really messed up, and their feelings and emotions are skewed with fear and doubt and insecurities, or anger or hate. We look at all that, but I also know in my heart of hearts that's how they chose to learn their lesson. And sometimes I will ask a question, try to lead them into being more introspective. Not the answer, but more introspective. Other times I just won't say a word and listen and let them speak until they're through speaking. And then, if you'll notice, there'll be a hesitation, which means that they're reviewing their thoughts. and wondering if they said the right thing. But don't you ever wonder, if you ask yourself, did I say the right thing? Is it really right for me? Who am I really talking to? Am I talking to all of you out there, or am I talking to myself? And that's what's so important, because I will tell you 99% of the time, you are talking to yourself. Your judgmentalness and critical thoughts are really about you. The reason it's about you is you're in denial because you're offended and you have to defend yourself. How many times have you said something to someone, and as you said something, and they have to make an excuse and why they did it and a whole bunch of other reasons why they did it to justify their actions? Well, if you're doing what's correct for you, you don't have to justify anything because you know it's correct for you. And even if it's a mistake, it's a positive thing that happened, because we learn from two ways. We learn from reading or somebody telling us, or we learn from our own experiences. And it appears as if our own experiences are more powerful than learning from someone else. That is to say, either one you can choose, but many times when you're having a conversation with someone, a button is pushed or you have an aha, because something lights up in your thoughts and you're thinking, yeah, that pertains to me. Is that true about me? Or is it really my fear? So, one of the things that we are controlled about everything in our life is fear. And you know the acronym false evidence appearing real. Fearful we're not doing the right thing, eating the right food, pleasing the right people, working hard enough, we're not doing well enough. All these fears. We're going to be punished, we're going to go to hell, we're going to lose our job, we're going to do all these things, and on and on and on and on. All based upon fear. And that fear comes from deep within you because it's something that you're afraid of doing. And you're afraid of doing it because you realize that something's going to occur at the end. So we use the word payoff. Eat too much food, payoff, you get too heavy, put on too much weight, right? You become too judgmental with people, the payoff is people don't want to associate with you. You do research and want to understand why your personality is this way, payoff is you've learned something that empowers you. Or you may learn something from someone else by observing. Think about everything in life has a payoff. I know Tia wants to say something.
I have a question. So how do those fears end up in us? I mean, how do we become so fearful that when we're looking at that concept of the payoff, why would we even be thinking that way? If you wouldn't mind addressing that a little bit.
Well, that's a good question. You know, it all starts from several different ways. And it really starts when we're young. And, you know, like an artist, there's a blank canvas. And when you are young, there's two parts of you. There's the soul part that's residing in your body, which you may pay a little attention to. And then there's the human part of you, which is your physical body. And our teachers, educators, religious people, friends, families, they all turn around and they make judgments. And if you hear a judgment over and over and over and over again, you kind of adopt it. You adopt it and become part of it. So my expression, if you tell a lie long enough, people will believe you. So if you get criticized or judged enough or told something enough, then what happens is you begin to believe it. There's no really thorough way of proving it's wrong if you're criticized and judged, because our innate way of life is we want to make everybody happy. We forgot the only person we need to make happy is you. Because when you are happy, then you're going to do happy things and you're going to do pleasing things, mostly for you, but some for others, out of kindness and love. Now, when a thought comes into your mind or your body as well, subconscious mind, it comes in one of two ways: repetition, repetition, repetition. And so If you were told you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you told that enough, you're going to be stupid. You're going to do stupid things. Because 94% of our thinking comes from the subconscious mind. And that controls what we do. Or you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. You're going to think beautiful and become beautiful. So all words are empty unless you embrace the definition of it. And embracing the definition, I'm not talking about, the dictionary or anything like that. It's what you feel, what your definition of that word is. And that's so important. I was talking about let's have a ball, and they were thinking, well, are we going to play ball? No, my definition is ball. Let's have a good time. But you see, somebody else's definition is different. So part of the art of communication is we have to be very, very descriptive and definite in explaining something, but nothing for 2 hours. Example, let's have a ball. Well, I said that's an expression, let's have a good time. Like at a ball and dancing, or maybe just laughing and drinking, a Coke or having a cigar or playing golf. Let's have a ball. Good time. That's all it is. But I don't have to go into a 20-minute explanation, which some people will do because they want to be sure they clearly understood. After 2 minutes, you've turned it off. I get the point already, enough already, and you're not listening. But so many people, the reason they go into long definitions is that they're insecure. Why are they insecure? Because they're not sure that they are being clear enough in their definition, which comes back something they learned in their childhood of sometimes type of criticism. So in your conversation, let's have a ball, and that person chose to say, well, are we going to play golf or tennis, baseball? No, I mean, just have a good time. So I realized I had to be a little more specific, but I'm not going to have to mention them. My definition of having a ball is having a good time and laughing. I don't have to say that again because now they know it. Do you wanted to add something?
I do. Really quick, somebody posted a question in here, and we talk about how we're influenced as children, the learned behavior that you were addressing, what we hear from others, and how they, feed ideas into our head when we're young. What happens when we start hearing messages from a more spiritual world? Okay, from people who have already birthed out. I know it's going a little tiny bit off the topic, but I'm addressing a question in the chat.
Well, you know, unfortunately, religiosity doesn't allow you to think that our loved ones, when they birth out of their body, which everybody would like you to know it means another word for dying, but I don't like the word dying because you birth in and birth out. So as you birth out of your body, many loved ones will try to leave you a message because they really care. But most religions don't talk about that, and they say it's blasphemy, it's the devil's work, yada, 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 yada. And why? And the reason they do that is to control. And how do they control? Through fear. There's that old word again. And unless it's my way, it's the highway. But there are many different ways that we communicate with the true source, or God, the true source, which is synonymous. And it's like, Michael, you take a left-hand turn here. Michael, you stop here. That's what we want. We want to hear that voice. All right. That's called clear audience. And while I have heard it rarely, other people hear it more frequently. But it's really our own voice that's talking to us. So when you receive what I call true inner source guidance, a loved one will want to be there and join you. And they have a message for you. And it's not really the devil's work or negativity or any of that stuff. Recently, I was officiating at a wedding, and this person, their mother had birthed out before. And I said, well, she'll be with us. And the next day, I'm performing the ceremony. And his father had birthed out maybe 10 years ago. And as I'm performing it, standing next to him couple of people noticed a shimmering image of a woman in a red dress and realized that was his mother, who just birthed out yesterday, the day before. And his father, which I felt a draft around me, was standing behind me. Of course, I couldn't see them because I'm facing, the participants, but I could feel their energy. So what we have to understand is there's a veil of energy that separates us with what I call the other side, the souls of others. And as time is going by, because we're raising our vibrations, for us that do it, that veil gets thinner and thinner, and then you get messages from the other side, from your family, friends, angels, guardian angels, archangels, even from the true source. The fact of the matter is we are communicating with all those, most specifically with God, the true source, 24/7. Why? Because we're an aspect. We're part of the true source. And I like to use the word, we have the DNA of the true source. All souls do. Of course, DNA doesn't exist unless you have a human body, but it's just a thought of how we can relate to things. So yes, the other side is talking to us all the time, and the true source is talking to us all the time. But we poo-poo it, or we're afraid to mention it, or somebody says it's some other negative, dark thing, or whatever. So one of the things I wanted you to understand, if that should have happened to you, yes, there are dark entities out there, but there are more enlightened entities. So if you're not sure and you hear this thought or vision, just say, are you of the true source? Or are you the God, the true source? And if you're not, I command and demand you be gone, period. And by law, they're gone. So that's a little tip, but I know T.U. is anxious to share something, so go ahead.
Well, I have another question along that line, and what I want to do is, it actually does fit into the topic, because this is part of our role in life when we listen beyond the day-to-day thing here. Can anyone who has birthed out, and I'll just use my mom as an example, okay? My mom left a long time ago. Is it possible for her to come back because she's angry with me over something and try to hurt me?
No. Let me preface that. No, 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 no. However, I will say that there are dark entities who will try to pretend they're a loved one and criticize you. Henceforth you go, if you're not of God, the true source, I command a man to be God. And when you cross over, there's nothing but love. So you're probably wondering, well, how does Michael really know about that? Well, I did not have an NDE or near-death experience. However, I was able to go to another dimension, the other side. All you feel is the most incredible love. That's all you feel is love. You can't describe it. I wanted to hug every tree, every rock, every person, every animal, even a bear or a lion or a tiger. I wanted to hug everybody. I felt so much love. And that's what it's like on the other side. There's love, 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 and more love. You can't describe it. You can only feel it. So if you do have someone that criticizes you from the other side, it's a negative entity. So everyone, get away from the word hell, please. It's a negative entity, period. That's it. All right. So, when they talk about the fallen times, the angels fell and all this malarkey, fallen time really says when we were very spiritual, we got trapped by negativity into the world we live in. And now we're working our way back up to the higher, more loving dimension. That kind of makes sense to you, or?
Yes, it's perfect. Thank you, Michael. I'm sorry I kind of took you off the topic, but thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just looking at our time. How much time do we have left?
6 minutes.
All right. I wanted to share these things with all of you because, my motto is you are unlimited, you are, and you can achieve anything. The problem with our human nature and learning our roles in life is we want everything yesterday. We do not want to work at it. Well, just think of this. Whatever age you are, and let's say you're age 30 or 40 or 50, whatever it is, look at all those years. You've learned so much information for the number of years of your life. Terabyte upon terabyte upon terabyte upon terabyte. And mixed within that is truth, fact, fiction, and fear. And I don't know what is our human nature. Yeah, I do know. And what it is that we live in fear or a doubt. And what are the first words we learn as a child? No, 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 no. And then we're criticized if we're asking a question and not being patiently listened to and asked where it comes from and why are you thinking that way, and help them to come to their own conclusion. You lead them to research and think. Now, the reason you want to research and think is because that's critical thinking. So we don't take things as being the pure truth, which it could be, but you would use what we call reasoning, not logical reasoning, but spiritual reasoning, which is a lot different than logical. Logical reasoning is what somebody says is the truth, and that's it. Nothing's faster than the speed of light. Well, guess what? Scientists through particle accelerators found out there is something faster than the speed of light. Oh, and that you can't be cured, and people have miraculous healings and curings out of nowhere, totally, completely healed. So there are things we're not aware of. But critical thinking says begin to take a look at your life and see what your truths are. I know we're running out of time. So next week, we're going to do part 2 and possibly a part 3. So hang in there. It's like the cereals we used to have years ago. Come next week for the next part of what I wanted to discuss. So I hope you don't mind my humor, but truly, I just wanted to share this with all of you. So Tia, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All righty. Thank you so much for that awesome presentation, Michael. And I can't wait for next week. We are running out of time, and with respect to everybody who joined us today, we just have a couple of things we want to share with you. I put contact information in the chat, in the comments on Facebook. So if you'd like to get in touch with Michael, Dr. Michael Gross, you can get his contact information there, or you can go to Dr. Michael B. Gross on YouTube, and you can watch all these recordings that we've done, plus all his recorded calls that he's done. And let me tell you, he's got over 260 something recorded calls, and they are slowly being put on YouTube. Okay. So definitely subscribe so that you can get the latest when he sends it out. But Michael, here's the one thing I wanted to ask you. Would you tell the people what you do Tuesday night and second Saturday of every month? Because that's coming up again soon.
So every Tuesday night, it's words of wisdom or soul awakening. So I give you a double dose. First is soul awakening, and it's 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. And you can ask any question you desire to ask about spirituality. And then I deliver a 10-minute message. So soul awakening is to ask any questions to awaken your soul. You already know these answers, but you've forgotten. And words of wisdom is to inspire you or motivate you. And then the second Saturday of every month, from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time, what it's all about is we're working on healing Mother Earth. It's mass consciousness healing. Not only heal Mother Earth, but all its inhabitants, which you and I are, and everything that exists. So that's once a month. And if you join us, all you have to know is the first 4 or 5 minutes, I have a little chat, speak with you, and then we begin our work. As we begin our work, it's silence until about 10:56, 10:57. We have a small conversation, and then it's over with. We need you. We need you. We need you. Your energy is so important in changing this planet. So I would appreciate if you would do that. Then we have what I call Words of Wisdom replay, and Tia is going to give all that information. So first, on the Tuesday evening, calling from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., it's on freeconferencecall.com. And the way to access that is to dial this following number.
Okay, the call-in number for the Q&A part at 6:30, that's 202 926 1059. And the access code, Michael?
125446 pound.
I'll do that one number again. It's 202 926 1059. And the access code?
125446 pound.
And that's the same number that you use for the Mass Consciousness Healing the second Saturday of the month, okay? And the recordings, other than being on Michael's YouTube channel, they are also at this number. You ready, Michael?
I'm ready.
Okay, it's 434 300 4170. And the access code?
Give it one more time.
Okay.
Please.
It's, you bet. You're going to call yourself? No, I'm kidding. It's 434 300 4170.
And it's the same access code for all of them. It's 125446 pound. It's going to ask you what number you would like to listen to, and it starts at number 3 to 266 or 67. So please, when you're stuck in traffic, you're crying, you feel lousy, angry, upset, listen to it for 8 to 12 minutes. It'll change your life and your day. So thank you. And we want to do one more thing, and this is brought to you by Healing the Holes in Your Soul, a beautiful, wonderful book of survival, of being like the phoenix rising from the ashes by T.U. Knapp. It's a must read.
And with this book, The Spiritual Primer by Dr. Michael Gross, who wrote the foreword in the book that he's holding. And this is his second edition, okay? There's extra golden nuggets in here that weren't in the first one. And I'm thrilled to tell you that Michael's got them coming very, very soon. They had a little delay, but they are now on the way to his doorstep. So I'm thrilled to pieces to let all of you guys know that this is a phenomenal book. And one more time when I share this, okay? If it wasn't for this book and the incredible man next to me right here, the book he's holding wouldn't have been written, and I would not be doing what I'm doing today. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart, Michael, for bringing my life into such a beautiful area. This spiritual growth is phenomenal. Definitely check this book out. And then if you want to read the other one, I would too.
Well, we want to thank you very much, all of you, and appreciate it. We ask you to subscribe, push the subscribe button, and spread the word. Spread the word, because there are so many things coming up that are going to change our lives. You have no idea, but we're going to need to be hanging out together, to work together, to change things in a more loving, positive way. So Tia and I would like to wish you a beautiful week. Thank you so much. Listen to our podcast, our Facebook Live, on YouTube, and the various things we do. Tuesday night, Mass Consciousness Healing. And just know, everybody, that you are unlimited. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. We really, really appreciate it. Invite your friends. Let them know that we are here all the time, and we don't delete any of the recordings. They're on Facebook and on Michael's YouTube channel. Definitely invite your friends if they can't be here live. We appreciate all your support, because, Michael, really quick, I know you've already said goodbye, but one more thing. Your mission and goal is to carry your message out there, okay? Share just really quick what we need to do.
My mission and goal is to reach a minimum of 1% of the population, which, if I did my math right, it's 80 million people, which is a huge number, but it's small, 1% compared to 8 billion. And it's all about their souls, to open up their soul, to reconnect with the true source. It's all about that, to bring about love and peace on this planet. It's lofty, it's challenging, but I know we will accomplish it. We'll accomplish it because we have to change this planet from chaos into love and into joy and happiness, because that's why you signed on to be here. So everyone, Spread the word, tell everybody, and we look forward to talking to you next week. Everyone have a great week. We know that you are unlimited. We love you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Good night, everyone.
Night.